Joseph Quintilla writes poems on post-its, walls, envelopes, cocktail napkins, Twitter, YouTube, clothing. Anything he gets his hands on, really. If you're lucky, he might write on you. His first full-length collection, published by Black Market, was released by publication studio Malmo as the inaugural title in their plagiarism series. Other work has appeared in The Collagist, Objective, Good, Bartleby Snopes, and Exterior. As the senior editor at Deadly Chaps Press, he publishes both an annual series of chapbooks and the quarterly review, Short, Fast, and Deadly. He is the creator of the #BookDress Project, a collection of living poems that have appeared in galleries, bookstores, and museums across New York City. You can find him on josephquintilla.com. Everyone, please give him a unicorn welcome.
Thank you, Gabriel. I need to update my bio and make it like half that long and add the fact that the Book Dress Project has actually gone to its next maker, and Gabrielle is going to be taking over Book Dress in October, so I'm excited to see what she does with it. I have bad news. None of my poems are plagiarized tonight. I've gotten into the bad habit of writing creatively again, something I try to avoid, but this is from a sequence of poems that I'm working on right now called Love, to Turn the Heart to Ink. When I was a blue guitar, Picasso bound me to a canvas. Later, walking the museum, I looked and saw myself and saw her gazing with desire. I was thinking, glancing at her teeth, I rue I wasn't captured by Cézanne, but I suppose I would have made a rotten apple, and she without her appetite. In truth, she feels like sleeping through the day and some tomorrows, here on the white of museum floor, and I would let my strings sling low with a hunger of my own, hunger, verb, to prolong the songs of gut. Next week I'm opening a exhibition of 12 sculptures that I've made by molding shredded dictionaries into self-portraits of myself, cast from different parts of my body. And so I'm really interested in dictionary definitions and institutional definitions versus personal definitions and cultural definitions and contextualized definitions. So each of these poems is written kind of moving through alternative definitions to words. Tremble, verb, to shake away the dust I grant has gathered one way or another, it does not matter. Blood resists the gravity of earth by heart and part. And it is this once a second mandate that sustains us. For a time, at least, I thought I wouldn't feel a thing. I did not think that it would be the fingers that betrayed me. When you eat with naked fingers, you may taste the flavor twice. Once by touch and once by tongue. Try a salad dressed, a biscuit sauced. Fear not the mess of fingers. They are how you will remember the way the dress hung from her shoulders, or the look on tautened faces of the dead, as though they begged for peel of orange or bell or both. I know not how the tremble sneaks into my fingers. Tremble, noun, the turn of heart to skin. It's noon, and I've been up for hours, writing at the balcony, the street ringing beneath, the sky still soft with cloud, soft, adjective, as the sink of dream into the rush. There, across the kitchen, writing letters is one I love, and writing is different across the kitchen from one you love. The boat that sails swift but rudderless, and all I write is true, if true only in part. Soft, adjective, as the waltz around a truth. Last night it seemed the yolk had broke into the white, but here, looking there at you, I see I would like to spend some hours with the grandchildren of this poem. Would you like to spend some hours with the grandchildren of this poem? Then give the poem a title, or an abandoned island, and a healthy love of stamps. Soft, verb, to let the loose of mind. Do you think I sought the page to ring my mind or my existence. What's the difference, sighs the woman, writing letters in the kitchen as she stamps and ships the poem back to the island to sink happily, stammering with the dust. Do I have time for one more?
Of course.
This is the poem that started the series. This one's actually stolen. Let me see if I can remember what it's stolen from. It's stolen from an Anne Sexton poem called Locked Doors, mixed into Blue Jeans by Lana Del Rey. Walking is a love song. No, it's not those two. It's something else. Walking is a love song. Taking two lovers too new to know how to say love and doing it a different way. Later, the love song is sleep, naked but not oblivious. True, the unslept eye is much like love, but tonight I think I'll show you no poetry. No poetry to turn you to me, no turn of tongue, just a verb, right, verb, to touch. To touch you modifies the look of the moon. I feed on the look from you that submerges me. I am sinking. I am choking. Choking, noun, a different way to diagram our play. You show me how to let me show you me, taking a long look at my naked throat. You show me how to let you show me you, naked, unslept, right, noun, a different way of sleep, walking with you in a night that is different, not because of poetry, but because of you. Because of you, I am choking, choking, verb, to turn the tongue to foot. Tonight, we are walking, and the moon modifies the walk. Tonight, I'll show you no poetry, just a sentence, unslept. I am choking to make love right, and with a look you write me. Love is the choking.
Woo! This has made the rounds of the New York poetry circuit close to a decade and has been both a reader and a judge at the Bowery College Poetry Slam, a featured poet at Yippie Museum, Monday Night's Poets Cafe, the Phoenix Reading Series, the New York City Poetry Festival, at Governor's Island, the Southern Writers Review, Small Jazz Poetry Series, the Lolita Bar, the Renegade Reading, Couplet, Living Room Stories, and Songs Residency. This is also a reviewer for Publishers Weekly. She just got paid $100 for her first book review. Her first $100 book review. Woo! She's been published in Collective, Liar Liar, 12th Street, The Rumpus, The Brooklyn Rail, Electric Literature, Yes Poetry, and the Junosco Literary Journal. She's currently working on her first collection of poems. Please welcome Liz Axelrod.
Do you think I need to shorten that bio?
I shortened it as well. It's still, but that's how accomplished you are. You're a powerhouse.
All right, so it is just about a year since Sandy hit us, and all these storms that keep coming have been freaking me out. I don't know about you guys. This is a poem I wrote about Sandy and storms and what goes on. It's called Instrument of Destruction. It's got an epigraph. The demon is always moving about at my side. The garbage men came as usual after the rain. Big-ass trucks and men with black gloves rolling over broken tree trunks, roots upend, pulled deep from under sidewalks through cement. Wi-Fi up and no bars. Haven't worked in days. The house is still a mess of fear, swirling vortex winds and wilding. Meteorologists show the center in full color before it hits the ground. They tell us she's a whopper, and we'd better hunker down. Our politicians smile and tour, while garbage piles on sand-filled streets. And homeless trucks of storm-struck people sweep but cannot clean. This is called Why Single Poets Can't Be Friends. Your structure kills my flow. We cannot come to terms, you know. I can't work within your silver binds. Untie my wrists and give me a sip of water or vodka or wine. I don't want want to whine, but you need to step away from my Englishman. Keep your pasta on your fork and give me the key to these handcuffs. I need to eat too, you know. Close your mouth when you speak foam excuses. I have a penknife aimed at the back of your neck. While you lean in on his accent, I will cut my steak and miss. It's bloody good, isn't it? Yes, we made a mess. But tomorrow we'll write each other notes of love and publish our catastrophes. Woo! This is called manhole explosions. A girl I know won 200 grand from New York City when one broke her ankle. It's getting harder to walk up subway steps. My legs take on the cement and all the messy cardboard homes and body odor. The same man asks for dollars on the corner every day. His collar veils his scruff and blown-up face. We walk by, grateful for his frown and blessing. And I'm going to do just one more, once I get to it. This is called Digging Deep Uncovers Hidden Minerals. What they wanted was to watch her hoe and bleed, break the hard rock with her mouth, and swallow gaps in progress with her perfect polished teeth. Every soaring hope for breath and width shot down, like Grandma saying, "Stop with the food already. You'll never find a boyfriend with an ass that wide." She still reminds us of our need to dig and soar. Good little girls are mocked, and orange is not the new black. Those eruptions encourage us to walk before we run our stockings. She opens hands to currents cold, while gazing over shoulders, molding slick black trenches filled with empty maxi pads. In bathrooms, with no stalls, but lots of mirrors and eyeliner. So to dig is to find strength in bones, to cut through surface scars and not release the hope to soar through razor wire. Running endless miles to find the wings to fly past borders. Broken down by cells and walls once lush with brilliant flowers. And years later, she still wants for gems and shovels deep, knowing the secret lies behind those plastic-covered couches in Grandma's house, with cherry wood veneer and walls of pasted toile. Sweet red peasants holding shovels, waiting for their dinner.
Our next poet is Jess Novak. Jess's work has appeared in verse, Gulf Coast, and Maintenance, among others. She holds an MFA in creative writing from Florida University and currently resides in New York, where she teaches at LIM College. Please welcome Liz.
Woo! I was succinct because there are fewer awesome things happening. This is entitled, Are You Interested in Some Potential Trouble? Nights like tonight, when we want to unsee ourselves, we pack the bomb we call Dorian Gray. Watch a beauty pageant featuring sad women who stuff their daughter selves with acrylic hair and teeth. Manicures slipping over sausage linings, stuffing tiny Marie Antoinettes and Madame Pompadours into imitation antique costumes. They swish across the stage so excitedly, it's hard to fully hate the moms. Like even Jenny says, you can't totally blame the men for how the thrilled the prom queen looks, her grin spread open, starring in the spring bake special wet t-shirt contest. Just women romanticizing a bygone era that hated women, as Jenny would say if she were here. Just gazing, she would say. Just playing the past without knowing, without a goddamn violin. Look at what we think we have escaped. Mom found Google and I'm so fucked. One time in middle school, she found my journal. Yeah, journal, like diary, whatever. Yes, it was the one I had to keep for class, but then kept going, just like our teacher had hoped. Which, yes, it was for nerds, but I did it anyway. And after that were the sessions with the psychologist. Mom would be waiting in the car when I came out, but the first time she said, "Please don't malinger, and you know your father and I can't really afford this, so get in and get out, okay?" Which later I found out is not exactly how therapy works. But at the time, I just not going fast enough. Like I'm the worst kind of Hydra. You lop off one head and outgrow a bunch of dicks. Like when Jenny left, she kissed my unclean neck and said, I had a lot of work to do. And I imagined perfecting myself, being the best at therapy, like winning an award in it. Like in the movies, how the straight-backed soldier learns to disassemble his gun, blindfolded and smoking in the dark. I'm gonna do one more, and not that one.
That's the one we all want to hear now.
Sure. Give me both, please.
No, well, this is called Ask the Oracle. Oh, Google, you taught me that Delphi was allegedly delirious. The priestess high as shit on the fumes she derived from some shift in the earth. So to honor our foremother of future sight, Jenny and I used to light up one joint each. She liked to have her own. Breathe in, hold it, see ourselves opened to the ether, then throw terms into your image search, which we read like tea leaves. Will I ever be a famous artist? Jenny made me ask you. The Romans loved entrails to divine the future, but we here in the 21st century disdain dirtying our hands. So instead we typed, will my life end in tragedy? And you told us, Paris Hilton, the Hierophant, cookie dough on a baking sheet. When I was in charge, I'd read that answer as yes, yes, no, which works out to a grand total of probably. We asked, will I ever be perfect, like a perfume commercial? A bar graph, hawk looking left, piles of lemons and limes. I would have thought that the hawk trumps the rest, but Jenny, high priestess of the internet age, knew that I was in for it, so in for it, based on the bar graph's color scheme, the arrangement of the limes, knew that you had determined that I would be headed here, casting about on a laptop, wishing for a way home.
He lives on Staten Island and has read at Deep Tank Studio and The Cup. Reading is terrifying for him because he has diphtheria due to a car crash, a TBI, and subsequent months-long coma. However, he has to stretch his vocal cords. Eddie has a lot to say to those who listen. Let's all listen to Eddie.
Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes!
So this is internal. I was sitting when I died, when I deluded myself into thinking I'll never taste the air again. I looked and I saw blackened birches and wheels that slowly turned, proudly hummed the pavement like the devil beside me. I sat at the time of my doing and forced myself to judge, to pick at one flowers, be like a nightmare when I saw the sky melt, when I felt the bitter burn of the pavement still singing, when I heard probability divide me. As I sat, I remembered no love, no land, no long lost losses to learn. I shed no salt, not a single grain. As I went into gray, waters not boil, drifting like a drifter in the dark, blue and black, clear like the moon, like a crescent, that will not confine me. I let my memories flow, not sure what's really remembered, or adulterated with love and drugs and tender muscles. The moon scream, the laugh, the beat, the thing of birth, hail, and those blurry birches. It's gone. disorientated most of my life. Been so sedated because I don't break the sight. Associated myself with all those who live to oppose, who foolproof the wolves. Society's foes creating ideas that break through the roofs of minds, and I see a horizon of hope of the Messiah, the rapper of hope, since I'll be desired. I light that fire when I take a hit. I bet your head thought so legit. With the system and into my mind. So I can sit around and see what I find. Infinite bliss inside my head. Instead of getting dissed and abided by the dread. Quit that shit. Get it off your chest. The only way to live is how I confess. Undress hate and fuck the gun shit. Smoke sauce and wait to get lifted. Gifted I know, shorties tell me so. All of the time look good for shows. Also take positivity. No might so smoke with me. Possibly chill and get honeys. But real MCs slick slag without money.
Thank you so much, Eddie. Can we have a big round of applause for our first round of welcome, Joy Sanchez, also known as just Sanchez. Is that how you say it, Joy? How do you say it?
I'll say it.
Say it right.
Come stand next to me. Introduce yourself with me.
Say it right.
It's okay, I have a whole phone for that.
Cool. Joy, I met through some Upper West Side people, and she hosts. It's so beautiful when you discover people who are doing what you do. Like Rama, he hosts this wonderful series, Word Up for F in Washington Heights, and Joy hosts soiree salons and artistic creation, mixing mediums and people in Brooklyn. And she has something on October 11th. If you guys are free, you should come and paint a wall together. It's going to be so much fun. Joy is a black queer woman and a mother of two with an eye on changing the world through art. Her poetic performance and visual art has been featured at venues throughout New York City, including B.B. King's Bar and Grill, Gucci Gallery, the Wild Cafe Theatre, Greenpoint Gallery, and Free Candy Gallery. Most recently at Brooklyn Wildlife Summer Festival at Paperbox. She's also the founder and curator of Art Love Her, a monthly open art presentation that holds space to honor and highlight women artists. You can learn more about her and her work at www.artlovesherwordpress.com. Please everyone give her a uniform welcome.
I think I'm alright. Thank you. Maybe.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Je m'appelle Zéchanché. Je parle français et anglais, but I don't speak Spanish. And the faces I get are hilarious when I tell people my last name is Sanchez. They look at me like, what do you mean you don't speak Spanish? Like that's supposed to be my native tongue. Easily forgetting I'm one of a billion diasporic children that don't know where my family's roots have begun. Fuck the fact I was born in Amsterdam and raised in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. So that just makes me a brown girl with a passport. The ability to go anywhere I please. International citizen, I need no stamps. Seriously. So if you ever hear the name Zéchanché, understand it just means that I have no home. I carry it on my sleeve like the art that I carry on my back. Like the history I carry in my spirit. Like the passion I carry in my blood. Like the words I carry on my tongue, like stars I hold them long and make wishes on stages, hoping somebody thinks my story is worth listening to. So I'm gonna do one more.
Do as many as you want.
Oh, cool.
Woo! Woo!
Woo! Oh, the last line of that poem is supposed to be, and it's nice to meet you. I'm sorry.
It's nice to meet you.
So my name is Joy Sanchez, like she says. I create artsy things like photography and open art events and mixed media events because I really believe that artists are the people or the catalyst for change that the world needs. And if I don't do something about it to contribute to the change of the world, of all of these different oppressive systems that we're brought up in and assimilate to, unknowingly internalize them, then I am only contributing to these systems that oppress other people. And that's an important cycle to me to break. you know, because as people, we can't really, you know, we speak, there's lots of people or groups that want equality. We talk about equality on all different stages, right? On all of these different levels. Sexual equality, political equality, financial equality, yada, yada, yada. But if we're still internalizing these systems and letting these systems control our thought processes because we're not doing anything to fight them or break them down, how is anything going to change? So anyway, that has nothing to do with my next poem, right? This is a poem I actually just wrote today. And I'm really excited to share it. It's a little long. It's called Write or Die. I sometimes sit in contemplation, wondering why I write. Why I think I am so special that anyone would care what I have to say. And it's in this moment, I have a reoccurring aha, that it doesn't really matter if others think what I write is relevant or important or worthy of listening to. I write because I feel as if I would die if I didn't. If I wasn't able to let out these observations and musing, my head might actually explode, keeping all of these secrets to myself. And in the larger spectrum, will it even matter at all? I wonder if Nikki Giovanni or Maya Angelou or Betty Davis ever asked themselves these questions. If they wrote with intention, knowing that one day their words would be received as messages or used as guidance, was it a natural motivation that spawned these literary and musical revolutionaries to just be themselves? Did they too see it as a no-choice option? Write or die, sing or die, create or die. I wonder what it was, their motivation. Were they once just like me? A young woman clad in hooded sweatshirts and boxer shorts, sitting at a mahogany table, cliche coffee and cigarette within my arm's reach, furiously typing as if each parable was some type of redemption. I wonder what they felt. Did they feel this same emptiness eating away at their souls? Were they writing to find their way out, thinking that maybe if they wrote for long enough, their creations would exalt them out of the growing void that threatens to eat them alive if unexpressed? My kitchen table looks out over trees that remind me of home. Afternoons in Brooklyn at the dining room table with my grandma Violet. She would read to me the works of Black authors, and it always shifted my perspective of this woman who, by all accounts, was a fully assimilated Black woman of the 1950s housewife generation. She had a heavy Bayesian accent that was always smoothed out with cultural acclamation, except when she get to singing. Her renditions of Nina Simone or even Gladys Knight would transport me back to Barbados. And I can always imagine what it would have been like growing up there as a child. My mind would piece together these family vacations into a tapestry of everyday living with her songs. Her songs keeping the possibility omnipresent in my mind. Our house would become home. And my Brooklyn is Bashable, where tomato vines and sunflowers grow up our back wall and peek through the windows. And breakfast is always oatmeal, tea, and fresh fruit. My lullabies told of strange fruit, so the woman within this child who became me would always retain her history despite what I was never taught in school. See, Grandma always stressed my education like her life depended on it. So maybe that's why I feel compelled to share what comes into my mind, because maybe my life depends on it. Or maybe someone else's life depends on the things that they will never hear should I ever decide to give up. And that's not a choice that sits well in my spirit. Especially when I consider the life I get from the art of others. It's like blood. It's like water. It's like breathing. It all flows through me. And without it, I might just die. So, since I like to talk, and I can do one more. I can do one more? Yeah. Yay! Okay, I'll do one more.
You can do 10 more if you feel it.
Nah, we can't turn this into the Joy Show. I'm like amazing and stuff, but you know, y'all are amazing too. So I need life.
This is
yo.
the Joy Show, but jail.
The Joy Show.
Audiences in various venues in New York City. She's one of the founders of Microphone Fields Open Mic, and she's also a musician. Please everyone give her a unicorn blessing.
Thank you. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yep.
So my name is Mona Bodega, not Mona Bo.
Sorry,
Not Mona Bodega. Because I
literally
get that
first name.
all the time, right? So Mona Baudet. I'm from Harlem.
I can smell you from here. You smell
I'm
so
an
good.
erotic poet. Yes, I'm an erotic poet. I can be found on YouTube, Bandcamp. I also am a house music artist known overseas. You can find me on YouTube. Again, my name is spelled Monabode.
And
I have
all my friends on
CDs.
Facebook is mine here.
Facebook, all of that shit, right? Okay. I have CDs. I'm also a producer. I'm an engineer. I'm a woman of
Renaissance
many
woman.
talents. Many talents. I'm a jack of all trades and I'm a master of none.
Mistress of all.
So I have some CDs, and I'm not charged. Whatever you want to give me for it is fine tonight. I'm just like, whatever. So I'm going to start with, he seduced me with his poetry, kissing me with every syllable, touching me with every noun. From that first day I knew he was going to love me quietly, gently, in his own special way. In his spoken word, I'm the subject of the story he tells. His desire for me from his lips, the words flow freely. His pen strokes, they paint me like a picture. His diction descriptive, enraptured, I'm captured, and it feels so damn good. The main objective, topic of his discussion. Vowels followed by consonants, full details, no rushing. He's up for the challenge as well. Words hot like fire have me undressing, stripping down to the core. He's reciting my life. I knew I would love him. He'll have me tonight as he seduced me with his poetry. He kissed me with every syllable, touched me with every noun. That sweet, sexy poet, his sweet, sexy sound. Thank you. And that's not the erotic ones. I'm just being nice right now, okay?
Get dirtier! Get
Okay,
dirtier!
I'm just being nice. Let me get to my... I'm getting ready to hit y'all off. I'm going to hit y'all off, man. Let me see. Where am I going? All right. Y'all ready?
Yes. Ready for this?
Okay. I tried telling him his love felt like a baptism. The way heaven poured down my chest. The way his back notified me he had mine. He had my mind entrenched in that thing he did with his tongue. Never knew my feet could inspire an orgasm. Feels like I'm reliving myself, rediscovering myself through deep strokes. Told him that I never tasted that flavor. He said he was made from honeysuckle chocolate-driven kisses. The way he ransacked my French quarters, I should have known the levees would break. I should have known the love we would make. My mind feels like an out-of-body extraterrestrial experience. We fuck galactic. Call me a Jedi, a foreign interpreter. I interpret the language of his tongue. When he communicates, we come. What the fuck? Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm a little lost right now. Okay,
We needed a second anyway.
you need a second, right?
I needed to digest that.
He said he wanted to write his name in me, etching deep, writing love letters to my soul, making magic. Me, Earth Woman of Chango, said he wanted me to pull him deeper, stretching my womanhood to its capacity, taking as much as I humanly can, beyond lust, just love. Words winding, spinning faster and faster and faster, unable to breathe. See, I follow him because I love him. I want and breathe him. Thank you. I do short pieces. I do a lot of short pieces. All right, here we go. This is one. I'm gonna do this one, and I'm gonna let y'all breathe on this one. All right. I'm in need of sexual relations, late night conversations, word manipulations. Yes, iPhone masturbation. Cell between thighs provide clitoral stimulation. Incoming call, I enjoy the vibration. I give FaceTime in moderation, running high off your running wild with my imagination, getting high off your oral insinuations, deep expectation, esophageal exploration, the correlation. Show me your love's ruler. I'll show you I can swallow a nation. Consider this a notification. I take great dictation. Enjoy my salvation of my salivation, throbbing pulsation, deep thrust causing asphyxiation. Stroke my throat till my vaginal passage achieves saturation. Slow down, baby. It's far too early for ejaculation. Feed my sexual starvation. Surf wave after wave of orgasmic gratification. Let your mahogany wood explore deep into this paradise vacation. Long, thick dick, damn, this man is causing devastation. Manipulating my body with his penetration. This is one promised land that needs no irrigation. Flash flood to follow, four-place precipitation. Pound me without reservation. Take me as if there'll be no reconciliation. Catch a case in my thigh space. I promise to recommend probation, but give me that sweet lick and stick till I swear off masturbation. Young stud got me high like cannabis inhalation. Insane sex games with freaky improvisations. I love the way I taste on you. My sweetness confirmation. Your hardness battling my soft wetness. Who will win this confrontation? There's no room for speculation that my love is so good, it's cause for celebration. Warm, creamy juices give your rod thorough moisturization. A breathtaking feeling as hot, steamy love increases heart palpitation. Baby, harder, deeper, please. Don't stop the sensation. I'm coming. Shit. I lost the signal. What a fucked up situation. Alright, I'm gonna do one more. Y'all like that?
Man, look, that's all right now.
Alrighty.
I've done a few times, but I'm not going to read it. Maybe I'll read it if I feel like you want more after, but I have something in that same kind of spirit. But first, I'm going to do one that a couple of you I know have heard, which is new for me. I've always done like militant, political type poetry, but not so much going in or like being vulnerable. So I'm going to do two pieces that are like that, and then I'll do the last one. This one is called Spiritual Celibacy. Took this long to realize that what I really need is the intimacy of kept promises. Well wishes executed as action meant to move me. Intentions of protection, support, direction, caresses to soothe me. Honest expression meant to reflect humanness back to me, but that side of the mirror seems to always lie empty. Transparent transgressions disguised in their opposite. Perversions of love used to tool with my spirit for benefits of culprits who are just as much victims as I have been. No sense of self, lacking love, seeking validation and manipulation of circumstances, attempts to dance circles around my mind, hoping to find me stepping to the tune of their satisfaction. They are not blameless, but they were born into this system, bred into wishing these things, these acts against others for false benefits, these robberies of truth, these aggressors of power who still stand powerless to be in this world a force unto themselves. So they steal powers from elsewhere, now naive to the fact that power stolen from another loses its mojo mid-air and never transfers to the parasite wishing to be fed. Usurpers left in need, and so they continue to seek another and another and another to borrow life from. After years of arriving from where I've come, I now know there is no real intimacy to be found in that. So I've learned to stop waiting for someone to reflect these things back to me. It was I all along missing in the reflection. I have to keep my own promises, wish myself well with action, be my own moving force, protect, support, and direct myself, soothe myself with the caresses of my own honest expression. So I've graduated from the elementary pursuit of seeking another to complete me. I retire from the mind folks beseeching me to give in, sacrifice my desire to be touched by them. Finally, I am enough. This time, not just rough around the edges, callous to this tough life, or numb to strife and inequities, but truly content. For all the me's of yesterday have conference with my current self and lent every understanding I've ever needed to be whole again, to be my own friend, to no longer walk in darkness, reaching for the sun, now realizing that heat has always resided inside of me. I am the one I always needed. All the coldness that I felt was let in from outside, you see. So I shut the door on anything that isn't real or isn't true, that lacks its own power and appeal or doesn't know what else to do other than suck the very life out of me. And with that simple action, I am healed. They'll have to find another or finally find themselves. No way to cover the truth once revealed. No more stealing away from my own thoughts. No more breaking apart myself for fear of facing the hand I've been dealt. No more regretting the times that I have knelt in tears, in pain. My life will not be in vain. I will not have my joy taken, only to be thrown away. I will lie in a bed of roses I have laid for myself, laced with petals of my own integrity, power, love, respect, truth, a spiritual wealth. Why beg to find these in someone else when I have an abundance of it within myself? They are my birthright, sewn into my very DNA from my foremothers, who were a strong women, tucked away, waiting for the day I would become wise enough to inherit them, strong enough to be still enough to open myself finally to the rapture, the passion, the unbridled fantasy come manifest of the magnificence of my own touch. I am enough. Oh, this is called The Gates. And this is after that point. Okay. We are not supposed to be here now. Seemingly coincidence, since simple choices ushered us through the moments that brought us there. Wow. A second chance meeting neither of us knew would take place. Interest further peaked, no expectations, glance exchanges, smiles and laughter, changing pace, slowly diminishing the space between us and the universe. And then at once, we speak again. After far too long of blocking others out with imaginary gates of will and judgment, instantly, I'm prepared to seek further within, with him. Unable to deny recognition of the blessing, so we took steps to ensure we'd connect again, having no idea how deep the bottom line would eventually be. On that day, no way of seeing that sometimes we build gates to protect ourselves and become the ones that need freeing. In hindsight, it wasn't that he carried the key to unlock those gates, but more that he took the time to look past them to see me, as if they never existed. Uninhibited destiny sealing fate, no twisted pretense or presumption, invisible barbed wire cutting through our expectations, leaving us both to feel we could just be who we are. A chain reaction linking us to even deeper relations, yet in spite of those concrete thoughts, we both temporarily doubted the situation, threatening to become the vehicle to this never being anything more. In a moment of not seeing eye to eye, a break in our rapport, I became convinced I had to stop that train from derailing, keep the ever-persistent spirit of misunderstanding from prevailing. Look what could have been lost if I decided not to lean into the window of chance. What if I ignored the feeling that maybe it was him I prayed to be locked in a stance with? A delicate dance, a dramatic entry to romance. There arguing our positions, me with my arms folded, but silently so open and wishing he'd just kiss me. I'm no secret to him. He spoke on his intuition and then laid that bliss on me. Shut my eyes, stalled my breath, left me wondering what would come next if we were to, I digress. Suffice it to say that it's the type of kiss that leaves you not wanting to let go, but when you do, it continues to speak to your soul. And much to my surprise, he wasn't through. In that moment, I was reminded an object is nothing more than its intended use. With my back pressed against and his hand and mine intertwined in the links of the gate, Even deeper kisses, no thoughts of refusing, as if he and I were the only ones there, his every word the subject of my musing, each rising to meet the air, and then touching me in places he's yet to be. Then boldly he inquired about just how much he bothered me, and I secretly wanted to let him see, right there, with eyes watching. Wanted to take his hand and introduce him to she that would quench his thirst. To answer, I found myself tightening my grip on just how loose I can be. Always trying to keep that part of me gated until I'm sure a man is trustworthy. But that glimpse he gave me opened me to the idea that even in that way, he seems to be a reflection of me. You see, he's nothing strange to me. Though one of a kind, familiar, I cannot expect to find another quite like him. But it seems I'm cut from a similar cloth as he. Those threads of commonality juxtaposed with all his differences entice my very being. I must admit, I still question where this all fits in the scheme of things. I hope that if life forces me to put up more gates, that it brings him with me, with his knowledge of how to look past them directly at me. Maybe one day we can bring down our gates together, or continue to use them to ignite passion, and simply exchange keys.